what has been going on in the Nancy Guthrie case. Lord have mercy. I'm just saying. So, you guys, whatever your theories are right now, it really is becoming more of an activist type issue. What went on? Okay, let me explain this to y'all. I'm not. What? Almost all cases at some point become a shite show. But it's never got to this level. Like, the corruption is right in our face. But what they're doing is they're using the law to twist it and apply to their advantage. But then you have to remember, it's still a law. We have to obey it. They're telling us all kinds of stuff. They're communicating that they don't want anybody sitting on that street, regardless, which we can go about it a different way. Did he resist arrest? Well, technically, he was in a resistance pose. Did he spit on the officer? That's what they're going to say. I don't know. However, they made it clear that they had a temporary, you can't be there kind of thing. Now, when it comes to the law itself, I hate to be the one to inform you, but Arizona law under the Constitution, okay, still functioning under the Constitution, an officer of the law is not required legally to tell you why you are being arrested, though that comes out usually during the booking process. And it's a blanket law. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a homicide. The guy doesn't have to come barreling through the door and be like, you're under arrest for attempted homicide. They just don't have to tell us why. So that was resisting without a you know what I'm saying? So I get that this is corruption, but it is this corruption of twisting the law, bending the law so that our rights are being stepped on. So we have to go about it in a completely different way. We don't want to get felony charges. We don't want to resist following law. If they've said don't be in front of that house, walking, sitting, what have you, believe me, they've got some bylaw that they can say says that it's impeding. Like if it's a sidewalk and you decide to have a garage sale and you put your chair, your lawn chair out there on the sidewalk to sit, you can actually get a ticket if you're impeding the flow of pedestrians where they're having to exit and go around you onto private property. Now, I'm not saying it's fair, but since when is corruption fair? We know they're corrupt. We have a sheriff that has allegedly beaten a man into ICU that was already detained and secure. So we know that, but y'all, I really want us to be smart about things. And did this all happen? Like everything went downhill after the mask night. You feel me? That wasn't right to do that. It wasn't. To be out there with people that were having a pizza party in the middle of the night, wearing masks, it's wrong. It's just as wrong, in my humble opinion, as Kiki doing her little photo shoot in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. It's improper. It's immoral. It shows a lack of integrity and dignity. It's things that teenagers do after school, and that's how I felt. However, those same individuals, a lot of them are actually searching for Nancy. So on that side of the coin, I'm supportive of searching for Nancy. But do you notice how they're not going to play this game anymore? I think they're serious. I mean, from my understanding, there are some serious charges being laid. And I know a lot of people are upset, have a lot of emotion attached to this, but it's almost as if we're working against ourselves in forming distractions and playing into their hands. We don't want to play into their hand. If we know we have a bad LE, corruption, then we need to protect ourselves by knowing the laws. And I'll tell you right now, if you are arrested in Arizona, and I'm looking at it right here, under Arizona law and the U.S. Constitution, an officer is not legally required to tell you the reason for your arrest at the exact moment it happens. However, they are permitted to make an arrest if they have a probable cause that a crime has been committed. While there is no immediate legal mandate for them to recite the charges on the street, it literally says that, the specific legal reasons for the arrest will be made clear shortly after. Typically, in other words, normally, during the formal arrest by the officer without warrant, documentation, or at the initial arraignment. Now, it's the same in Wisconsin. I had an officer come to my front door one time when I was married to my ex, who was not the coolest guy. Police department, open up. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, we have an arrest warrant to pick up your ex. Well, at the time, my husband. And I'm like, he's not here, though. I think he's at his mom's or fishing. And they're like, okay, well, Matt was fishing. He came home. I said, you have a warrant for your arrest. So we drove to the county and we go up to the little speaker on the wall in the middle of the night. And he's like, hey, they're like, can we help you? And he's like, yeah, there's a warrant for my arrest. And they're like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, I'm here at the building. Could you come to the door and let me know what's going on? And here I am, arrest me so that we can get this handled. I mean, we didn't even know why. We had no idea why. Well, that was when I learned he had back child support on a child I didn't know he had. Yeah, and I was married. Anyway, that's what I mean by unsortly feller. How are you guys? So welcome in to 1111 True Crime. We're going to be talking about the lead to Mexico. I want your thoughts. Today's open discussion on this. After this live, I did the whole, I don't know what that is. After this live, we're going to jump into the case of Adam Montgomery and Harmony Montgomery, which it's got me in a way that I've got to keep my blood pressure down. But the Supreme Court has overturned the verdict, overturned the conviction of murder. Second-degree murder is now off the table for now. Anyway, we'll talk about that. If you want to follow me in the next video, it will be much like this, where we're just talking. We're going over case reports. I've actually got the paperwork and what his counsel is claiming, and I'm beside myself, but whatever. So welcome into our live audience. Welcome in. If you are new, thank you so much for tuning in. Perhaps subscribe if you enjoy what we do here, which is be the voice for the voiceless. We talk about all different kinds of cases. And with that, thank you to my replay crew. You guys rock the house. I put all kinds of absolutely 0 calorie delicious snacks in the replay lounge. Promise you, 0 calories. Air, like you're eating air. It's really weird, but it works. I love you all. I appreciate you for your hypes, your subscriptions, and everything that you do that supports this channel. We had a fantastic deck party yesterday. I mean, it was off the chart. Fantastic. And that means I get to do another week of YouTube. You just never know. This case is getting crazy. You're right, create a sign. Hello, hello. Hey, J.E. girl, let's say hello to a few of our live chatters. Pink Lioness, welcome to the channel. Jayla, hello, lovely. How's everybody doing? Dana, yo, good to see you in the house. I think saying hi is fantastic. I'm saying hi. It's just this entire thing. I'm like, this case has got me passionate. Nancy Guthrie in this arrest, I feel like this is showing us quite it's in your face corruption, the way they're playing the game. Like the media can be there, no problem. They're right down the block, right in your face. And they park cars and they have permission, apparently from someone. Could it be that the ones that are playing the role, the way they want the narrative to go, are allowed to be there, and then the ones they don't like, they're like, I don't know, you guys. This is really frustrating. This case is frustrating. Sausage and Mash, welcome back, lovely. Your shop was brilliant. Love the stones and the jewelry. And we have tons of true crime. You see me all in purple? It's because we've got Notebook, which that book is amazing. It comes with a pen, and it's the true crime undercover agent. And I just don't like armchair sleuth stuff. It feels derogatory in some way to me. It almost feels like, you know, it's somebody so lazy that they pretend they're a researcher, but they really just lay on their couch like a potato. Armchair sleuth. Like armchair sloth. And I'm like, I hate that term. And often media will use it, or police will use armchair sleuth as a slag off toward us. And I'm like, you know what? We're not armchair sleuths. We're true crime undercover agents. Maybe our blanket is real. We're undercover. Dana, yo, good to see ya. Thank you for becoming a member, lovely, and welcome to our private eyes, which are our true crime undercover agents. You got it, you got it, you got it. Hey, Charlene, you can find all this stuff, you guys, at the shop, 1111dex.com. Mama gotta pay the bills, right? Mama gotta pay the bills. Hey, Jan Funk, yes, I agree with that. It every strange in your opinion. It just gets stranger every day, I agree with you. Catherine says, you look great in that color. It's gorgeous. Justice for Nancy, Liverpool, UK. Thank you, lovely. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Pink Linus, I seen something on the news break that Savannah did it and put her in a nursing home in New York City. I have no clue. Anything is possible in this case is bizarre. Well, I wouldn't put it past that scenario, but that doesn't mean everybody feels the way I do, and I could be wrong. I have a wicked laugh. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I just have my own laugh. I don't want to be wicked in any way. When it comes to what's going on in this case, for real, so this lead came in, and it went to this group of people that actually have been very fortunate in finding up to 20 bodies, if you will, in a murder field, a murder place. Okay, so a lead came to them, and they're in Mexico, and they've got their local authorities protecting them as they go back to this follow up this lead to this murder field where this person's alleging that that's where Nancy Guthrie is buried. They searched already, didn't find anything, but they're going back from my understanding. Now, I don't know if I think they're going to find her or not. I really don't. But, because I think she's alive. I know, it seems weird, but I do. Thank you. I don't need membership. Made my mind up. Gonna be a goat someday. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Dana. Yo, good to see you. Pink Linus, I seen your video of the comparison, so who knows? Lot of thing. Wicked laugh as in fun, good. Oh, okay. All right. Well, see, I'm y'all, words matter to me, and I don't ever want to be wicked. I want to have a cool laugh. I don't know. I just, I don't get it. It's not wicked. It makes you smile, Chow. That's cool. Smudger says, please, can you put, in my opinion, right? Okay, I'll try. I'll try to say in my opinion. Allison. Actually, she's asking all of you to do that. Could you put in my opinion or allegedly when you make a statement? It does protect the channel. I know a lot of people don't get that, but we sign up as creators, as partners to YouTube. And with that, one of the things we agree to is that we'll moderate our chat and we will not make statements that cannot factually be supported. So we have to put, in my opinion, allegedly. How can you look for something that isn't lost? Well, you can look all day. You're just never going to find it, right? It's kind of like, I've used this example before, but let's just say you have this friend over. They crash at your place. They get up. They get ready for work. They go out to the car. They come back in and they're like, I can't go to work. I don't have my keys. I can't find my keys. Keys are missing. And you're like, oh, I'll help you look. Hold on. Where were you with them last? And the person's like, don't look for my keys. You know what? Don't even think about going out by the car. I'll call the cops. If you go out by the car, I'll call the cops. Stay away from the sidewalk around the car. Don't look for the keys. You know what? I don't want you to mention this to anybody. Like, I really want you don't tell any friends or family that I'm even missing my keys. You know this is a bullshit story. What's up with the keys? Right there, you just opened a whole damn can of worms, and anybody with any inkling of paying attention, any consciousness at all, is going to be like, excuse me, what the fudge is going on? And that's what it's like. This 84-year-old woman who, to all of us, has a great deal of value because she's a human being, and that's the most precious gift we can get is a human being in our life. And this is a grandmother, a mother, a loving individual where nobody in the family wants to go look for her or even hire a PI or actually just stop talking about her. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Sausage and mash, this buried site. Okay, this buried site is a throw off, as I am sure there's something else is coming. This is to throw us off, Savannah. Y'all could be right. Who knows? Gail says, I think it's an inside job with some members, in my opinion. A lot of us feel that's an inside job. Tiana, hello, lovely. You go, girl. Thank you. My nose is itching. Hold on. Like I hate like when my nose or something like that itches and I'm live because I'm like, oh great, everybody's watching me. But you know, when your nose is actually itching, you can't like just leave it. Ugh. Sorry, Jenny. I'm sorry, lovely. All right, you guys. So I don't have a great deal to talk about when it comes to Nancy Guthrie, other than I feel that whole incident should have never happened. First of all, allegedly, he made the comment a couple times, and you know who I'm talking about, Alex. Allegedly, he made the comment before he left that he thought it may come to them coming to arrest him. So to me, that's premeditated decision to kind of taunt or whatever. That's a problem. What you guys need to remember is to follow the law. So now I want to give you guys some answers. All right. So we're going to go over here. We're going to get on to this. And I want to ask, all right, this is how you do it. Can I protest in front of the sheriff office in Tucson, Arizona? All right, now let's look at this. Yes. See, this is actually the safest place for your demonstration. Yes, you have a constitutional protected right to protest in front of the Pima County Sheriff Department, PCSD, in Tucson, Arizona. As with other government buildings, you are legally permitted to assemble and express your views as long as it remains peaceful and does not obstruct traffic or block the building entrances. Okay? Let's continue. Specific rules and guidelines to keep in mind. This way we can get ahead of the, let's just call them corruption. Forum areas. Your rights are strongest in traditional public forums like public sidewalks, plazas, and streets outside government buildings. Stay on the street, okay? You generally do not need a permit for a spontaneous or small protest on a public sidewalk so long as pedestrians can still pass. Permit requirements. If your demonstration is large enough that it will block vehicular traffic, or if you plan to erect structures or use amplified sound, you may need to secure a special event permit through the city of Tucson. Building access. You cannot block building entrances, driveways, or exits to the sheriff's office or parking lots. Photography and recording. You have the legal right to photograph or film anything in plain view from a public space, including police activity and government building. Dispersal orders. Hold on. Sorry. Law enforcement can order a crowd to disperse only if the protest becomes violent, creates a clear and present danger of imminent violence, or begins violating other laws. That's where you got to pay attention, like blocking the entrances and so forth. Open versus concealed carry. While Arizona is a constitutionally carry state, some individuals within local communities, such as those discussing on Reddit, suggest that concealed carry is generally preferred over open carry at protest to avoid unintended escalations or draw unwanted attention from the authorities. For a comprehensive review of your rights before you head out, you can review the ACLU of Arizona Protest Guidelines. Right here's the link, you guys. It's acluaz.org. Know your rights, protest, free speech. Here you go. And you can do all of this. That way you know what to do properly, rather than allegedly resisting arrest by taking that stance, right? You and I both know if you lock your hands like this and you put your feet spread out, This is a resistant pose. He resisted. That was something that I felt could have been avoided. He could have said, okay, go ahead. Let's make sure and do this nice and easy. Thank you. All right, we're going to see where this goes now. You know, like instead of forcing the issue to get escalated as it did, which was hard for a lot of us to watch because we care for Alex as a human being. We don't want him hurt. We don't want the officers hurt. We just want them to understand that we are not going to be their puppet. They're not going to wind us up like a jack in the box, ding 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 ding, and not expect us to pop out and be like, okay, where is Nancy? This is getting old. You're not looking for the woman. You're not even trying to find her. It's like you want us to forget about Nancy. Just forget the whole thing. Nobody's going to do that. You feel me? Tina says, in my opinion, thank you, lovely. Think an inside job. Think you nailed it on the porch guy. I say porch girl. Sadly, I think something went wrong with the plan and she is now passed. That could be. That could be. Who's back out there again? Nikki says a certain creator is back outside Nancy's, or he was anyway. See, that's just not going to help the situation. Create a sign. It's kind of like, let's say that the teacher was being bad and you're the kid. If you're just there with the teacher in the classroom and you try to make your point and do all that and prove your point, it's not going to go over real good because it's going to get all twisted and convoluted. No, you're going to do whatever the teacher says. If that teacher says go sit in your desk until the bell rings, do it. Go stand against the wall, do it. As soon as that bell rings, you're out and about. You can go get your people, your support, and you can show up at the principal's office, like the sheriff's office. And you can be there and you can protest and say, I didn't like what happened back there. It violated my constitutional rights. And you can protest, but do it in a place where the corruption can't get to you because you're front and center and you're showing your authority as the people to recognize that that's a public building. That means the public owns it. Rather than these little, I mean, think about it if a bunch of people, if it had nothing to do with you, a bunch of people were showing up in the middle of the night because something happened down the street and they're wearing masks and you got your grandkids staying out overnight and they're wearing masks and they're drinking and they're eating pizza and they're acting like a bunch of teenagers. Don't you think you'd be calling, the city and be like, hey, this is getting like public nuisance level. This needs to stop. It's late at night. Don't we have a curfew that make people get out of the street? My granddaughter's at my house. See what I'm saying? So you have to really look at that and say that crap started it in a way because we already have corruption. We have huge amount of very serious corruption. And the way to fight it, instead of going out and putting innocents involved, okay, just neighbors, which I must say some of them ain't so innocent. Sue Ellen, okay, some of them ain't so cool. There are others that are cool. Don't do it there. Go take it to the place. Keep it to the point. Who's the problem? The sheriff is the problem. So go tell him. Go show him. Stand up for your rights in front of the sheriff's office. You feel me? Pick your battle to win your war. And make sure when you pick your battle that you can stand your ground legally. That's my point. Jenny Bill says, I pray for Nancy's soul, and my hope is she is found soon, one way or another. Thank you, lovely. Sausage and Mash says, one thought is there is a timestamp on the porch guy pic, as if there is none, but could have be done date. Okay, I don't know what you just said, but I'm going to try to use my Captain Crunch decoder ring and refocus. Okay, what it says basically is, how do we know what time or date that the porch guy video happened? Because they didn't release the timestamp that they would have had. Why didn't they? Is it from a later date where they thought about it and they were like, oh, let's stage some shit to just make everybody quit questioning the family? So see, it's an outsider. Here's some video for you. But leave the date off because, you know, they're going to be like, why does this say February 10th? Okay. Or could it be that that didn't even happen that night? Maybe that was somebody that was just effing with the porch. I mean, it's Tucson, for the love of God. I've never seen anything like that place. I'm just saying. That could have happened a year ago and they used that footage. It could have happened months ago, weeks ago. Maybe none of it happened on that night. Maybe it happened way after. Who knows? They left the date off. Why? Why not give us the time stamp right on the video? I mean, even the Linda Lane footage in the Idaho 4 case had the time stamp. There's a reason we're not being given that. Jan Funk, I like your opinion, Mama D. Well said. Thank you, lovely. Bizarre, no time on the video. No time on the video. Truly. It's 3:33 on the clock. 100% nano caused so much trouble in my opinion. That's why I said I would relish the opportunity to protest in front of Nano's office, because there lies the problem. Nancy's house ain't the problem. Nancy isn't the problem. The problem is the sheriff and what he really knows. What is he really hiding? He likes to flaunt it in our face. We've basically known who did this from the very beginning, but we're not going to tell you and we're not going to do anything about it. What? He don't know shite. Well, he probably knows it all. It would be too easy, right? Right. It would be too easy. So when it comes to, a lot of people felt very emotional the way that Alex was handled. I felt emotional. I don't like seeing violence. I don't like seeing any of it. The whole thing to me was extremely unnecessary. I do believe we have some violation of our constitutional rights, and I believe that the healthiest way, the safest way, and the most peaceful way is to stand up, those that feel inspired to protest, in front of the sheriff's office and say, where is Nancy? You know? And what are you standing up for? Your violation of your First Amendment rights or your Fourth Amendment rights? To be able to have freedom of speech, or get your ducks in a row and get your signs all made so that you're all one congealed voice. Get yourself somebody that's in charge of the group. If you guys are that serious, that don't leave, okay, how do I say this? Don't leave one duck way behind to just do some lawn chair protests on the side of the road. That's not going to get us anywhere, you guys. Because then they single one person out, that's an easy sitting duck. Not only that, but it violates their twisted laws and allows corruption to come in and overcome, because we didn't have a leg to stand on, Create a sign weird. Nobody from there protested against Nanos. I would have been. If I was from there, I would. I protested. So Tommy Thompson, our governor, came to town one time. I was at work, and my boss said, hey, we're going to go protest. Tommy Thompson's in town. I'm like, yes! Because I had some things to say. And so we went right up there, and he was at a little church. All the press was there, and we did our protest, nonviolent, of course, very peaceful. And then I found out, while we were doing our protest, they snuck Tommy, the governor, through the back door of the church and were only doing media interview. They didn't tell anybody they couldn't come in. They just put people standing on each side of the door that made it look hard to get in. But I was like, well, they can either stop me and be like, you can't go in or whatever. I'm just going to go in. So I went in and there he was, just about done. And I'm like, oh, and all the media's up there at the front, all the channels. And my thing was Brendan Dassey, because he was wrongfully convicted on a false confession at 16 with only a 70 IQ. It's a tragedy. And he's the only one that can pardon this boy at the time. And so I was like, he said, he took a couple questions from the media, but he never looked back there. He's like, all right, if that's all. And then they started to move him, all his crew started to move him aside. And I'm like, hey, what about Brendan Dassey? The wrongfully convicted 16-year-old that has an IQ of 70 that falsely confessed under the Reed's technique of interrogation? And this is what he said. And I was recording it the whole time. He's like, we're not going to be talking about Brendan Dassey today. And see, the reason that hurt, and the reason I had to do what I did, and it was the last thing I did on that channel, is because everybody, all the supporters, over 5,000 people strong, that followed everything I released on that case, all believed that he was the key. And it wasn't Tommy Thompson. It was someone else. It was, who's the governor right now? I just forgot. It wasn't Tommy Thompson. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Hold on. Tony Evers. I apologize, Tony Thompson. That was the one before him. Tony Evers. That's who did all this. Correction made. Sorry. Very sorry. So everybody had sunk all their hope into Tony Evers, and they were all like, keep asking him because he's going to do the right thing. And all our hope is into Tony. I'm like, he doesn't give a shite. He's not helping us. If you look him up, he's actually related to Peg Lautenschlager, who was was she the attorney general? Yeah, she was the attorney general when Brendan Dassey got sentenced, and he's related. It's never going to happen. Tony Evers doesn't give a crap. And yeah, but my protest happened, right? I got my voice heard legally because we were on a public location and I obeyed all the laws. My voice echoed for a long time. That I still to this day, which that's been 5 years, about 4 or 5 years. I still get an email request once in a while if they can use that footage where Tony Evers said that. It changed the whole game. And it's not that I'm afraid of protesting. It's that you have to do it in a legal way so that the corruption, because that's what you're protesting, doesn't twist you into a pretzel and eat you for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I went on my own tangent, obviously, today. And again, it's Tony Evers, not Tommy Thompson. Tommy Thompson was really good to me and my family. We had a crisis, and it really did help. His government helped at that time in our life. Hart Manic says, in my opinion, obviously Pima County is corrupt and dirty cops. No one will say anything. That's a sign of a toxic environment. Yep, I agree with that, in my opinion. Sausage and Mash, do you think that Nancy's case would make it more difficult for YouTubers to follow in persons in cases in the future? If they don't do it respectful, if you see YouTubers, creators out there with masks on, acting like reenacting the crime scene and shit in the middle of the street, that's not doing nobody no favors. We have to show we're adults and that we're smart. Okay? We have to use our intelligence. We can't act like teeny boppers that are on a Friday night and we're trying to party on some dead-end road. That can't happen. Nick UK, yeah, was a while ago seeking. He was vile as usual. He was 16. Brendan Dassey was only 16 years old at the time. And bless his heart, he's, way older now, right? Because that all happened a long time ago. In 2007, when Brendan, I think it was 2007 or 8, Brendan Dassey was convicted. At that time, he would have been about 17 or 18. And he a few years ago, he wrote, he was asked if he would write a letter requesting a pardon from the governor, Tony Evers. And he recorded a little, this is Brendan Dassey. He recorded a little phone message, and it was so heartbreaking because you can hear it in his voice. He's very uneducated, and he's still a child in his heart. He never grew up because he wasn't on the outside. And he was like, I'm just going to paraphrase, but it was heartbreaking. He was like, "Dear Mr. Evers, our governor, I like Pokemon. Do you? I really like the game. I got one for Christmas. I hope you're doing well. I would like you to know I am innocent of everything that was said that I did, and I never harmed Teresa Hallbach. Could you please pardon me? And I hope you have a good day." It was like a child wrote it. And here I stood in front of Evers, and everything in my body was just oozing this feeling of disgust for him. And to see him in person, he's even more disgusting looking. And for him to show he had no compassion for Brendan Dassey whatsoever. And here he preached, and that's how he got elected, was all the children that have fallen through the cracks. And I was like, oh my gosh, Yeah, safety in numbers. Absolutely. Jojo, people standing in front of Nancy Guthrie's with masks is disrespectful to Nancy. It's also unsafe. What are people thinking? Get it together. Think before you act. Yeah. Friday night parties with bonfires. JG George says, in my opinion, it's very dangerous to go up against the corruption alone. Always stay in groups. Correct. Ask Mama, maybe she's not aware seeking. Nikki, no, this is a new post yesterday, day before. What? Who was Lucky threatening, seeking, not keeping up? Who was threatening? Are you kidding me, Luggy? Apparently he was slagging Mama D and threatening her on his channel. I do follow him, I don't follow him, but I heard Duncan say it. Trash. See, you have to be smarter than they are, not fall for it. Apparently he hasn't been getting enough attention, so he wants to slag off on me. Oh well, he's not getting it. Okay, that's a good question, Seeking. What do you guys think of the Nogales tip? What are you guys thinking on the Nogales tip? Do you think it's going to pan out? Don't worry about it, honey. Aw, Iceberg So Criminal. Thank you. Holy crap. Thank you so very much. $100 snooper chat. That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you. That is so kind. Iceberg So Criminal. When it comes to corruption, we're going to fight it. But we've got to band together and we have to behave as adults. And we have to be smarter than they are. That's why we're true crime undercover agents. We're not armchair sleuths. We're not sloths that sit on our couch eating potato chips and drinking coffee all the time. We do a lot of good. We do a lot of research and we do it respectful. And with that, you have to remember it's going to take all of us to work together and stand up for the corruption, up against the corruption in the correct manner. I support that, but I'm not going to support silly behavior by the boys. Iceberg So Criminal, I'm going to gift you the goats, both of them. You're getting the Christmas goat and the regular goat. Thank you again for that. That is so generous. Blows my mind. And I wholeheartedly appreciate that. You have no idea how much that helps, because every week I get fewer and fewer views on my channel right now because I am talking truth. And, you know, it's hard because I won't go after the clicks and views. I'm going to be true to me and to you. I want you to have your opinion out there too. Create a sign says we have to stand up for the kids and minors. Sorry, true. No sorry, right? Sorry, not sorry. What is the Nautilus tip? Hey, Jan Fuglove. So somebody contacted this group that they're a group of moms, and they go out together and they have found over 20 people, okay, in this one area. And they actually are very good at what they do, and they search for the missing. Well, they got a tip that said that Nancy Guthrie's remains, and I guess it's really detailed and specific, okay, that Nancy Guthrie's remains were in that same area. I don't know. It's confusing to me. But even the government, the Mexican government, are joining forces with this group of mothers. And they've done one search area, very professional, and no luck yet. But they're going to return. And so that's the tip. We don't know the details. We don't know like what the tip said specifically. J.G. George, that's heartbreaking about that young man, in my opinion, is on the autism spectrum. This is before they had a name called autism. I mean, it was just starting to get diagnosed on a regular basis. I hate to say it that way, but I live it every day. I have a grown child with special needs, and their struggle is real, and not many people understand. You guys, it breaks my heart about Brendan dancing. It's beyond heartbreaking. Nick UK, I am 50-50 on the tips, seeking to be honest. Okay. Could be a valid tip. Might need to check it. Oh, you deserve the super chat. Well done. Thank you, Sausage. Chris Son says, take care of about 30 poor kids here. We keep them out of crime. Bless you. Bless you. Very insightful. Thank you, Chan. Thank you. All right. All right. It's time. I need just a few more minutes than normal because we're switching cases. So with that, I'm going to be getting probably a little wound up because I was so heavily. You think I was heavy into Nancy Guthrie? I worked the Harmony Montgomery case through the dirt all the way to the end of the trial. We're talking years. Okay? So let me explain this. When I found out about Harmony Montgomery missing, she had already been missing for 2 years, but I wasn't alone. Her dad had not reported her missing, and she had passed away 2 years before. She's only 5. That was only the start of this horrific, and I'm talking horrific saga of this child's real life. Harmony Montgomery is one of those cases, one of those children that I never knew, that I feel like is my own daughter. She didn't even have, he's going to, okay, this is where I'm going to have a problem. The Supreme Court overturned his verdict, his conviction for murder on Harmony. Yesterday I found out. So all the hell of finding out the unbelievable, unimaginable suffering and disgusting and vile things that this man has done. I'm talking Letica Stouch bad. Okay? It just so happens that she's getting a new trial, from my understanding, and so is this demonic beast of a monster dad. Adam Montgomery is getting a new trial. He claims what really happened, he wasn't even there. He had gotten out of the car and was running some of his rug deal. And that Kayla, the step monster, was the one that did it. So you would think he wouldn't get a new trial. He wouldn't even come to court. A lot of the time, he didn't even show up for court. Didn't even care to say what he had to say. This is the most revolting thing, but we've got to look into it because we have to keep the pressure on that we still care and that we stand by Harmony through thick and thin. Her little brother is the reason that Harmony was found out to be missing. Keep in mind, she was 5. He wasn't that old. He was like 3, if I remember right. And he wanted to give Harmony a Christmas present. So the foster family, what you're going to ask, why was she not with that child? That's a great question, right? He wanted to give her a Christmas present, so the foster family was trying to get a hold of Harmony to give her a present from her brother. All right, you guys, I'm going to take a few minutes and we'll jump back on. It does say 4 o'clock. It might be like 4:03 or 4:04 because I need to use the potty. I need to go pee. I'm going to fill up my tank, right? We'll come back together and I need your mind to clear and get ready for a different case. I don't normally do different cases on the same day, but I knew you guys needed a voice in this situation. And I wanted to give you some guidance of what I think the actual protests should be at the sheriff, where the problem is with the corruption. Get to the head of the snake, okay? Just saying. I love you guys. I always will. Again, I want to say thank you for all those that have done all the wonderful things. Maybe you gave a super chat, which was incredible. Iceberg, so criminal. Thank you. As well as anybody else that hyped, liked, subscribed, watched the video, shared the video, everything you guys do to give me an A+ on YouTube. I love you. I'll see you again in just a few. And with that, I do pray that Nancy's truth comes out. And I also pray to protect all those, to give them guidance. That's what they need. All those that want to demonstrate and stand up for their rights in this case. Give them guidance so that we win, right? Love you guys. Peace out.
From the dust I was born, to the dirt I shall return. When my eyes are closed, in the shadows, my enemies will think that